collisions is really helpful. We're doing our hotspots board today and tomorrow, but we're going to limit it a bit because there's so much.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that helped you out.
Mm-hmm. And I think you mentioned that scooters couldn't be documented on there, right? Do you remember, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I think they're in the works, like within the next 5 years, to try to get more of that added to the crash reports. I believe, Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, there's going to be a update to the crash reporting system within the next 5 years for micromobility.
Okay, because I noticed some of them that I was able to document were listed as pedestrian, but they were actually scooter fatalities. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Lori, we have a special guest from Orlando. It's a mom called Abby Breeder. So just want to let you know we need to reserve a few minutes to her. And she make a special request. One of her kids, I think both of her kids attend USF. And I'm talking about after the meet, after the typical agenda, open phone. She wants to team up with Florida DOT to do some safety campaign.
Thank you.
She's referred by District 5 District Safety Administrator, Lauren Bobo.
Okay. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
I guess, Brian, you want to give it like a couple minutes as people.
Yeah, we give it. What do you say? Start at 3 past.
Hey, sorry, I was in a work meeting. It's Allison.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Allison.
Okay, so we'll start at 3 past. Let me do just one more minute. I'll start at 2 past and we'll get going here. All right, 3:02. Let's get going here. Make good use of time. I think normally we would just introduce one another. So it's kind of on a virtual call. I'm just going to say to the far left here with Abby. I hope that works. You want to just quickly introduce yourself, who you're with?
Sure. My name is Abby Breiter. I am a mom of a student who goes to USF, who is currently a senior, who was involved in a very nasty accident on 60 in Bartow that totaled his car, that thankfully he walked away. But I'm here also representing with my friend Allison, who will introduce herself, whose daughter unfortunately passed away at the Maybass turn. And that's when we really started getting involved together, is that Allison struggled to get some things changed on that road. So I worked with Allison to connect us with FDOT. And then in our last meeting, they talked about that there might be some opportunity to really educate our students on traveling on that road. And so they connected us with you to be able to figure out if there's a way to connect with USF Student Life and try to get some education done about kids being safe on that road. So
Well, I'm going to have some good information for you later in this presentation. I work at USF, so
Okay.
I'll hold that thought, and we'll continue towards Lori, and then go ahead.
Hello everyone. My name is Lori Paleo with JMT. Just to let everyone know, this meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mics.
Matthew?
Hey guys, Matt Belmonte, safety analyst with Gresham Smith.
Thank you. Jim?
Good afternoon, Jim Hartwell with Element Engineering.
Appreciate it. Is it Shu? I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
Hey, Jim and all the Candyman. So you can only see Candy. You will not see my face. But anyway, guilty Candyman. But anyway, hi, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Antonio?
Hey, Antonio Velez, USF Police Department.
Okay. I see there's another. Antonio? I see a second Antonio.
Allie, you're muted.
Sorry, I didn't know it was my turn. I'm Allison Santiago, mother of Alexis Santiago, who passed on State Road 60 on the night of February 7th, 2023. And since her passing, I found out horrific things about the road, and it was my duty to make it safer for students because her friends still drive that road, still see her sign, and there's been accidents before her death and sadly after her death that directly affected USF. And that, you guys, you remember the parents that came to visit his son. So I have been reaching out to everybody who would listen since her passing. It was none of her fault whatsoever. It was a lot with the dangers on the road. They were doing construction and so on. But again, this road has had more than enough accidents. And again, I don't want any family to live the horrific life that I have to live without my daughter here.
Thank you for joining us. Tim?
I'm Tim Roberts with the Florida Law Enforcement Liaison Program. I'm stepping in for Jim Reiser from District 7 until we find a replacement.
Thank you. Michael?
Michael Whiteham, Sergeant with the Tampa Police Department's DUI unit.
Thank you. Andrea?
Good afternoon, Andrea Savaggio with Benish.
Wonderful. Brenton? You're muted, Brenton.
Hello, Brenton Mosier with USF Qatar.
Wonderful. Ellen?
Hi, I'm Ellen Snelling. I'm with Tampa Alcohol Coalition. That's a community coalition that focuses on underage drinking, DUI, and policy.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is it Laureen?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Laureen Bobo. I'm the safety administrator with FDOT in District 5. So Osceola County is in our district, which is the county where Alexis did lose her life on State Road 60. So I'm glad that we were able to connect you guys with them today. And then so I'm just kind of listening in, and we're doing what we can in District 5 to educate as well. Thank you.
And then it's, is it Emmett?
Yes, hi. I'm MF Duran. I'm with Florida DOT District 7. I'm the district safety engineer. And here for Eric Henry. Eric is our CTST coordinator. He's out of the office this week, so I'm here for him. If you have anything, you can either let me know or let Lori know, and we can get it to him. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think there's a Tina, am I right?
That's correct. Tina Russo. I'm the Bike Ped Program Manager for District 7 Safety Office, here to support District 7 Safety Office.
Wonderful, wonderful. Have I missed anyone? Anyone else that haven't called? There's quite a group today. That's amazing. I guess not. So I think the next step is to ask for a motion. Has everybody reviewed the agenda? Calling for a motion and a second to approve the agenda from August.
This is Matt Belmonte. I'll make the motion to approve.
Thank you.
And Jim
Second.
Hartwell will second.
We appreciate you. Okay, we're off to the next part of the agenda, the business updates. Now, Lori, I do apologize. Who typically speaks on that?
Yeah, so we usually just go down the list of problem locations, and if anybody has any updates on that specific location, that will be discussed by the appropriate party.
Check. Okay, so we'll start with I think the first one is Lois Avenue. Yeah.
So here in the bold is this is what the latest update from Marty Sorrentino, which he was unable to make it today. Does anybody else have any further updates at this location?
And do we know if he's received anything from Cedric McCrae? I was reading that before the meeting. Curious.
I have not heard anything.
Guess we will turn to the next one, more in our territory.
Bruce B.
Ollie
Downs.
Drive, Bruce B. Downs. So lighting is nearly complete. That's optimistic. With updates on the Holly Bruce B. Downs.
I think the latest update was possibly conducting a full lighting study or exploring alternative solutions.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I think our next one is Kennedy Boulevard and Willow Avenue and Delaware. I think we're just monitoring, looks like is the latest update. And North Boulevard between Cass Street and Kennedy Boulevard. See the update below, it's recent. Just one, okay.
I'll reach out to Marty and see if he has any additional updates on these locations. I know he sent some follow-up emails, so just waiting to hear back on that.
Let's go to agenda item 3 on calendar updates, activity reports, starting with the law enforcement activity.
Hi, it's Sergeant White with the Tampa Police Department. I'll just stop by going over some numbers. We did our numbers for the month of August for last month was 156 drunk drivers arrested and taken off the streets. That's a significant increase from 123 the previous year. And it's a total of 1,133 DUI drivers taken off the street so far this year, which is a pretty high number. We had an operation over the weekend, over the holiday weekend, netted 29 DUI arrests over the weekend. We worked it with Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, ended up with a total of 52 DUI drivers taken off the streets over the weekend. And as you know, Sunday was a rain out, so there wasn't much there. So it's basically over 2 days. We're still continuing on. This is the month of September, so we start railing back into the education side of it as well. Putting our DUI corporal goes and runs our education unit and runs all the education through the high schools, and that is starting up this month. We expect to be in full swing by the end of the month. We also did, before I even get going too far, I don't think he's on today, but got to give a shout out to UT employee Steve Monaco. He helped us with, we did an operation for fake IDs, underage drinking, targeting Soho and Ybor City, which was highly successful. It netted 19 arrests. All were college students, except for one for having fake IDs and underage drinking. It was highly successful. We usually rate success based on how many arrests we made and all that other stuff, but in this day and age, we kind of rate this one on the social media scale. And when Yeti and Bigfoot start doing memes of the Tampa Police Department raiding bars, it was a success. So a lot of social media feedback and everything there, and we're continuing with. We just did another operation in downtown. We're starting to have problems at some of the college bars down there on Franklin Street, and we just did another underage drinking and fake ID operation down there this past weekend that netted 14 arrests. Now the arrests they can be charged with felonies, obviously, for the fake ID. We're kind of doing it kind of a little bit light-handed for the first time around. We're issuing them with what we call APAT hours, which is like community service hours, that kind of thing. We're going with the misdemeanor charge, not the felony charge, trying to make it education along with some discipline or arrest type of thing without having to put a felony and ruin people's lives. Because we all know college kids make bad decisions sometimes. But they also get sanctions at the school, like UT. The majority of the students that were caught were from UT and stuff. But overall, a very successful operation, and everything's going forward really, really well at this point. And hopefully we won't have to do many more of those operations. Usually we'll do them a few in the beginning of the year, and we'll do them about mid-year and towards the end of the year. Just when they start forgetting that we're out there, then we hit them again, and they fall back, and it tends to slow it down. So hopefully everything continues going the way that it's going, and we keep being successful with it.
I do recall at our statewide conference, there was a presentation on the fake IDs, and I do recall that the students were, like the people who were caught were given a choice, like you mentioned, the softer option, but those who refused could get a felony. Is that correct? Am I right about that, officer?
So having a fake ID or a state ID is a felony. It can be charged with a felony. There's different sections in the statute, and what we're doing is we're generally going with the underage drinking or with the misdemeanor side of the statute for the IDs. Now, if they have a history or have been caught before by us, that's a different story. They're not learning the lesson, and then we'll go the different route. But we haven't run into that yet. But like I said, so far it seems to be successful. You never know. We did it last year too, and we had huge success. That's why we continued it this year. And I project that we'll do it again. And I'll have to get with Sergeant Belmonte, who's here in a different role today. But I don't know when they're going to set out the next operation. It all depends on what they're seeing as far as complaints and things like that of underage drinkers.
And it sounds like this is something, is it traditionally done before the start of a semester? Or is this kind of the first time to do that?
Yeah, well, it depends. We just started this up last year. So we did it right now because it's the start of the college season, right? So you want to get the message out early, and hopefully that deters bad behavior in the beginning. And then we'll look and see, because we have full-time units that work in these club areas in Soho and Ybor, and they obviously can monitor and see if it looks like there's still a problem with underage drinking. And we also do the vendor training. I don't know if you're aware of that. We go to the bars and we actually certify them as responsible vendors, so they know how to check IDs, they know how to look for these things and stop the underage drinking, and we get a lot of feedback from them. So we'll see how it looks once a little further down the road. Right now, I can tell you right now, it's going to be a lot less kids out based off of these recent operations. So I mean, we'll wait and see what happens. Maybe mid-semester or midterm, we'll go and do another one before they get out for their Christmas break or just after it, and then see where we're at then, and then maybe towards the end of the year. But it's very fluid, is what I'm saying. So we don't know have an exact time of when we're going to do the next one. We're going to wait and see what the numbers show.
I'm curious, officer, of your drunk drivers that you said 156 the last month, 1,133 this year. Do you know what the average age is of these folks? Are these college age kids being caught with DUI? Is it, mid-level parent age, 30s, 40s, 50s? Would you happen to know that information?
It's more mid-age. It's not. It's generally not your college kids. It's usually. Yeah, I think I have the exact numbers here somewhere.
So college kids are smart enough to take an Uber, but not us parents.
Correct. And
driving, yeah.
Our numbers, it's mostly white males. When you do race demographics in the average, the age is between 30 to 40 is the highest numbers. But yeah, it's your people after work or going out on the weekends and partying and things like that. And a lot of your kids, they also take those scooters. And your older people like me, I ride the scooter for about 5 minutes and I crash.
Seriously,
and I'm
yeah.
sober. So these kids, they're pretty smart. They take those scooters and stuff. Even though you can get a DUI on those scooters, it's just harder to get see them driving drunk on those scooters unless they're doing something obviously stupid.
So they underage drink, but at least they take an Uber.
Yes, generally speaking, Uber and Lyft have helped reduce DUI crashes. We've seen that.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Was there another question? I thought I saw another hand up. Maybe not. Okay. Well, thank you, officer. We'll go to our bicycle pedestrian reports.
Hello. So we are in the middle of a campaign to do awareness on the new traffic signal at Fowler Avenue and 52nd Street. So that connects sort of that residential area. And there's like the Blaze and Chipotle on one side. And then the other there is the Publix and stuff over there. And so it is still kind of just finishing touches on construction. Emmett might be able to speak on the engineering details more, but it will be a mid-block pedestrian signal, so pedestrian activated, with a right turn configuration. So we've been on the street doing advanced education. We're getting ready to do social media pushes and other stuff for education on that. And Jason is not here, I believe, but he has organized a press conference that is happening on September 18th at 10 a.m. in the College of Engineering Hall of Flags. This came from another parent who contacted us, Michelle Lynch. Her son Connor was killed while riding a upright electric scooter. And that is Tampa General and AAA are also working with him on that. So it's going to be a little bit about multimodal micromobility, I should say, safety education, so bikes and scooters and stuff like that. So again, September 18th at 10 a.m. in the College of Engineering Hall of Flags.
Okay, I would love to have been at that one, but I'll be on a cruise that week, Brenton. I did want to ask you, I'm noticing you've got nice pamphlets on scooter training. I found one in the Pat's office the other week. Can you speak about this training, or is that pretty much what you had just mentioned?
That might be something else that Jason is doing from the peer-to-peer, so I will have to follow up with him on that because I'm not sure about that.
Okay. That's I think a lot of us are seeing scooters as the future very dangerous vehicle, and just I think they're trying to get ahead of the curve on that one and do some education, which is wonderful. And it does sound like they're teaming up with AAA to some degree on that. Anything else on reports? Then if not, we'll go to the fatal.
Hey, Brian,
crash.
I just wanted to
Yes.
add to what Brenton was saying and a clarification. There's a treatment for left turn at the intersections. There's bidirectional medians, so it's gonna kind of add a kind of define better the left turns at the intersection. Before it was like an open median, so anybody could, there was a lot of conflicting movements happening. And so this project utilized some, when they closed that median for left turns only, they allowed a space in the middle to put a crosswalk. And so but the pedestrian, there will be a new traffic control signal there for exclusive for pedestrians as well. And that is already active. Yep, like Brent mentioned, it's already active and it's working. And we're gonna be doing some evaluation as well, make sure that the users are using it as intended.
Thank you so much. Turning to fatal crash maps.
So here's the fatal crash map for Hillsborough County University CTST. These fatal crashes are within 1 mile proximity to a college campus, and the data goes through June 10th due to the 60-day lag in Signal 4 analytics. We cannot have anything 60 days or newer. So for the statistics for the fatal crash map from January 1st to June 10th, there have been 4 fatal crashes within a 1 mile proximity to a college campus in Hillsborough County. These include USF, UT, and the different HCC campuses. At the last CTST through May 15th, there were 3 fatal crashes. So there's been 1 new fatal crash map. This was a run off the road fatal crash, report number 269-71372. Close to the HCC Ybor campus on March 15th at 7:17 a.m. on I-4 and 300 feet east of I-275. Not at the intersection in dawn clear and dry conditions. The vehicle hit an impact attenuator crash cushion, and this was in an active area of work on shoulder or median. So this was in a work zone. So that's the 1 new addition to the fatal crash map. There were 4 through January 10th, and same period in 2024, there were 10 fatal crashes. So we are down by 6 same period. So we are showing some improvement from last year.
Great. And Laura, I'm not sure if you're able to speak on this. Maybe it's too recent. I was speaking to Officer Amanda Brake at the hurricane awareness event last Friday, and it sounded like there was a not fatal but very significant scooter collision on the USF campus. Any information about that, or is that just too new?
Yeah, I don't have anything that's 60 days.
Hey, Officer Velez, USF Police Department. Yeah, I actually handled that crash. The actual driver that did the hit and run, she was arrested for that the same day. So, the injuries were not that serious, but he had some injuries to his head and elbows and back, but he was able to walk away from that, thankfully. But yeah, the actual driver was held accountable.
Wonderful. So it was more on the driver's fault in that. Well, in addition to the hit and run.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Good. Thank you. And we'll turn now to the open forum. I know I have something, but if anyone wants to go ahead of me, feel free.
I guess I'll kind of speak for Allison and I, and Allison can jump in. So as we were meeting with Lorene and her team and talking about education for State Road 60, the number of students that drive between South Florida, where Allison and I both live, to USF and UT is a significant number of students. As I mentioned, my son, was driving in Bartow on a road that's 65 miles per hour where a left turn was allowed to come across. That person came across, my son hit them, crashed his car. He will no longer drive 60. He will take I-4 or 75 all the way home. There needs to be education for these students and for people that travel this road about the dangers of this road and maintaining speed limit. I just drove home from it when I moved him into his apartment, and going the speed limit, people were flying around me at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. So we were thinking, like, could we partner with USF? Now, we're not going to get, I don't think, with like the head of USF, the president's office or anything else like that. But I think students listen to other students. So how can we connect with student government, student life, student organizations to get the message out to our students who are driving on that road and their parents, the dangers of that road, in the dark and rain, it should just never be taken, to be honest with you. It's the scariest thing when I've done that. But how can we get the message out? Students listen to other students. So how can we connect with the student life organizations on the USF campus to do a campaign, especially on times where kids are going to drive home, Thanksgiving, or I know that like USF is, I think, playing down at University of Miami. Kids may come home for that game. Getting the message out to these students that they need to stick to the speed limit on 60, stay off their phones. It's a dangerous road. So
it's primarily a 2-lane highway, isn't it? I unfortunately have to take it anytime I go to Fort Pierce, and it's
4
yeah.
lanes from
Okay.
What's that town? Almost to Lakeland. So it's 4 lanes for the about 25 miles, and then the other 35 miles are just 2 lanes until you get to the turnpike.
And those, the ones that I was going to say that Abby's talking about, happen to be the most dangerous with crashes and deaths. So they divide it, State Road 60, into segments. So those segments that we have no guardrails on, the segments I found out after my daughter died, because I had a lawyer come to me about it. And of course, the lawsuit got dropped in the state of Florida, but they did all the changes after that. The Edward Swisher, loved him. He was the officer on scene. He was out there for 2 days with his team to find out what the heck could have happened with my daughter. She was not speeding. There were not any tire tracks on the road or anything, no alcohol, no cell phone. Everything was checked and everything. My point is, we knew about this for 20 years now, over 20 years. We know how deadly those segments were, yet there's no lights, right? There's no guardrails. I did find out the rumble strips that my daughter caused her to swerve off the road into, just so you guys know, a swell. Her car flipped and burnt. She was burnt to death. There are 2 witnesses that stopped on the road. This is how horrific her death was, why I will not let this go, because it was disgusting what happened to her. Okay, so again, I did everything. I went on USF. I went to the Dean of Students. I went to the USF parent page. I got thrown off the USF parent page because they didn't want bad publicity for USF. But you're going to risk students like Abby's son to have that happen, like my daughter burning to death? That's not okay. It's not. Now, the rumble strips I fought, so did Abby. They were just removed, placed with lower epoxy ones, which does not shake your car. Lights have been put in. Speed limit by the curve where she died, where the construction was, have went from a 60 to 45. They have flashing curve roads now, slow down. We've done so much over the last 2.5 years, only because Abby's other son had helped us get there. But we can't continue to ignore the situation. It's not okay. And nobody realizes it until it smacks you in the face. And I have no daughter that is now coming home from USF back and forth. So my thing is, now that we've done these changes, Abby and I want to get them out there. So I don't know if a cop can maybe just patrol that area just for a short amount of time to show that the speed limit now has gone down to 45. Because like Abby said, they're not slowing down. You know, it's going to take another accident. All the changes we put into place, we would like more education out there, or even threats of, tickets or stuff, to make them effective to lower the deaths and the accidents on those segments that are not safe and continue not to be.
Just a clarification, is it the 2-lane portion of 60 that tends to be the most
Yes.
dangerous? Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes,
I
correct.
feel that way when I have to drive it myself. And
Yes.
especially
Yes.
when people pass, and people will
Yes.
pass very dangerously.
Yes. Correct. And they are working on that. They told Abby and I they're working on passing, but of course that's not going to be in the short term, as well as widening that section, hopefully long term. But in the short term, we need to really, really, really warn parents and students of the dangers of that road. Because I knew that road was not the safest road. However, my daughter, like all the other kids at USF, guys, that's the route that Google Maps takes them, Waze takes them. That's how they're taught to go from South Florida to USF, to University of Tampa. I, as a parent, if I would have known 167 deaths in 20 years, I would have forbid her to go on that road. But guess what? I didn't know that till after she died. Okay, so again, education on this road. I don't want to see another family go through what I go through. Her friends as well. Abby can tell you, Abby's son knew Alexis since they were 7 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It just,
we need the education out there, and blaming, I don't want bad publicity, puts such a disgusting taste in my mouth. I'm sorry. Because in my eyes, my daughter's not coming back. Alexis is not coming home to me, but I'm doing this to save other parents and other children from this nightmare.
and not only
Yeah,
that,
and just
people who
go ahead.
drive those roads, right? Like my kid was driving the speed limit. Why you can make a left turn across a 65-mile-per-hour road and the lady hesitated or didn't make it or whatever. Thank God my child walked away from it. But that just seems like, especially where it's 4 lanes, you should have to make a right turn and then make a U-turn. So down in your end, in your district, there definitely can also be some changes made on that road. But the idea is let's educate people who are traveling on these roads. Like, be smart, you know, maybe standing out there and giving tickets, like, you know, the idea of arresting 19 kids for underage drinking, that would scare, I think, a lot of their friends. I mean, that made social media all the way down here that first weekend, right? And so I think something like that, where there are consequences for behaviors and highlighting those in a social media way to get the word out. But if you have kids, you know your kids don't listen to you. There are studies that show kids listen to their sibling and their friends more than their parents, but some of the parents are to blame too. When you're driving your kid home and you're trying to get home and you're driving 90 miles an hour, just like the DUI thing, 30 to 40 years old who were smart enough to take an Uber. So how do we put some education in place, but also with some consequences that maybe it smacks somebody in the face and we save a life? So I don't know how we go about starting to partner with USF and who we partner there with, but you know, as Allison and I are willing to do everything that we've been doing up to now. My kid is there. My son, my older son, has a lot of connections in Tallahassee. And so what can we do? That's what we're here for. What can we do?
Certainly education. Yeah. Emmett?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say I think that definitely education is important. And this is, I think, as a topic that has been discussed or before in previous months, because I think there is a great opportunity to get this message out to the students, not just in the University of South Florida, but University of Tampa, Hillsborough Community College, St. Petersburg College, which we haven't reached St. Petersburg College yet, and that's on the Pinellas side. There's definitely that opportunity, and we get, so Target Zero, it's a statewide campaign, and they develop a lot of great material for education, especially the age group of the college, you know, and a little between the 30 years olds and high and older. And they develop a lot of great material, which we could definitely push through. You know, Brian may be the person that we can help us make that connection with leadership at the university, at least in USF. We, in the past, I know we've partnered with Qatar with doing a safety campaign, Alert Today, Alive Tomorrow. Used to be a big campaign in USF that used to run for a few years. They used to do this. It was mostly targeted for pedestrians and bicycles, but there were some driver messages as well. But I think that may be something.
The other students the message.
Yeah,
we're adults.
Absolutely.
We're adults. I can tell my kid to eat right, sleep right, go to class, don't drive fat. Like my kid now just is scared to drive 60. He comes home the long way, even though he knows it's going to take the long way.
Yeah.
We need to engage the student body, whether that's student life or student government, because they are going to have a bigger impact on their fellow students than any of the adult messaging and campaign that we can get out. I have a degree in education. I study this. Like students listen to students.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we engage in that and how we can use our connections for any of you that have connections at UT or USF with these student organizations. They need to be the ones getting the word out.
Yeah, like a peer-to-peer program type of
Absolutely.
thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Friends listen to friends. Not always with the best advice, but
Yeah.
friends listen to friends,
Right.
and then getting the message out also, to parents. They have a USF sends out this like a newsletter thing that goes out, right? Maybe we can connect with that and start sending messages out like be smart on the road, tell your teens and 20-year-olds to be smart. We know this is like we have to acknowledge we know this is a dangerous road. The state of Florida is working to make improvements, but until that time, teach your kids yourselves, drive the speed limit. Don't pass around when you're trying to squeeze into a car. Give statistics of people who have died. I mean, statistics speak a lot. Those are my suggestions.
Well, I just wanted to, I mentioned that we have something coming up and you are more than welcome to attend. I just put it in the chat here and it's in the chat. So we are having a bicycle, pedestrian, auto, scooter, and skateboard safety BPAS next Tuesday, September 9th, 2 to 5 p.m. in the FAO lobby. Now, we created this about 6 years ago after I work primarily with international students, but this is open to everybody. And we had about 5 or 6 international student deaths, all preventable. And we were like, enough's enough. We need to try to do something. So this has been going on for about 6 years. Cutter will be there. Our friends at USF PD, Officer Reeder will be there. We've got a gentleman, Austin Britt from Shared Micromobility will be there. I have invited Corey from Hillsborough County District. And if he does accept, he would be talking to students about like stopping with school buses when you see the signal, because that is a big problem. And, obviously a danger as well. And I think AAA is going to be there as well. We've promoted it pretty strongly on social media. We're offering prizes, free food, and I'm even out of my own pocket buying some gift cards to see if that will entice them into the door. But you're all welcome to come to that. And that's another opportunity for just reaching students and talking to them, tell your story.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. We'll be there
Is there
too,
a way?
FTOT. We'll be there.
Is there a way, because Abby and I are in South Florida and I have a full-time
we
job
work.
as well. We work, is there a way that could be mentioned, like just the improvements on State Road 60 and that, we're trying to make it safer, but we just want to, like, just to get that out there again, it's to get the message out, either be social media or like Abby said, friend to friend, but is there a way to, kids talk, so is there a way to get that out there,
I have some ideas. So would you be willing to write something up that we can hand out, like a testimonial? Or if you had a video, like talking, I could find a way to get it on our TV screens. I think we've actually done 2 videos of international students, one who was sideswiped by a dump truck on campus, another one that had a near miss, and it was kind of his mistake of not getting off his scooter and just whizzing through and almost getting hit. But I think that testimonials, things that are visual, that attract more senses, are going to be more effective for students. I try to shy away from just the handouts because often they just end up in the recycling bin. Yeah, but
yeah, if
better
we
than
had,
nothing.
yeah, Abby, if we had more time, I don't really have a lot of good video skills, but I'm sure Abby and I would love to, right? Maybe do a little
Yeah.
video. We can do Alexis's picture and, back if he wants to just as these are real students. This is what happened, again, this is the safety that we're doing, but we need everybody's help to, do
If
it.
you, Allie, if you
Yeah.
could like do something on your phone and then send it to me and I can do something and then I can put it into Canva
Okay.
and probably make
Okay.
something.
We'll
If I
talk.
can
We'll
get
talk
it done by
later.
Tuesday, yeah, 100%.
Okay, let's talk later on.
Okay.
And a lot of these universities, it just depends on your ability to do it. Like there are tabling, like I guess you have to apply for the tabling on campus or the different campuses, and that's another way to reach students, telling your story. And the next safety day event we have, we do that every year. It's another opportunity to reach students. So there are a lot of opportunities for education it's like which one would be the most effective. It's sometimes
Right.
hard to know.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
that was
why
my.
we need, that's why
oh,
we
go ahead, I'm
need
sorry.
like to partner with somebody in student life or student government to help us with that and get that word out as well. Right? They have a lovely, I don't even know where it is on campus because I've never been there, but not to campus, but to where this wall is, where Alexis is honored. Like any student that has passed away who was a student at USF is there.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know where that is and how many students ever get a chance to walk by that and hear those stories. And I think that that's an impact as well.
Yeah.
You know,
So
anything
at
just to get the word out
USF,
to these
it's oh, go ahead.
students.
Mhm.
Where is it on
At
the
U-
USF campus?
It's behind the Marshall Center. It's called Crescent Hill, and we got about like 6
Yeah,
international students on that plaque.
I have
Yeah.
pictures, Abby, of it. I can send you pictures. We could try
Oh,
to
I've
add
seen
it.
the
Not,
pictures. I'm just trying to figure
okay.
out where behind the Marshall Center. Like if I go in the back of the Marshall Center, the bookstore's to the left. Is it to the right down where the beautiful
So it's
walkway
right
is?
behind, as if you were going towards, is it Holly or Plum? I think
Okay.
it's Holly. It's like if you cross the street, then you go to the post office.
Okay.
So
Yep.
it's
I know exactly where that is now. Okay.
okay. So it's right behind that, and like slightly to the right. It's easy to miss. It's kind of fenced off, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But if you don't know what you're looking for, it's easy to miss.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else for the open forum? Any other announcements?
Thank you for allowing us to be here.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I have an announcement just hot off the press. We're looking from CTST members that may be willing to participate in our first ever Tampa Bay Community Safety Academy. This is for the general public. This is not something for engineers or traffic engineers or planners or anything like that. They are welcome if they want to attend, but this is very this is more for the general public to gain knowledge on transportation safety and highway safety. How do you develop for instance, learning what are the challenges in transportation safety, what are the trends, what is understanding about, and I put the flyer on the chat as well, learning about safe mobility for life for all road users, learning about what target zero is and what is the safe system approach. What does that mean? What does that have to do with me? It helps you understand also safety countermeasures like rumble strips, signals, what are some of these different traffic control devices that are out there and what they're used for, and the trade-offs that come with it as well, right? And also how can encourage them and empower them to perhaps take on, be a champion for change and safety, and how they can work through and part with education and perhaps with law enforcement as well, and how law enforcement and education kind of play a part in highway safety. So it's going to be a combination of things. Six modules, 1 hour from 6 to 7, and we'll begin on October 1st. So we're looking for the first, the ones that want to help us push this and make this into a larger effort. So I want to just throw that out there.
And what was that called again? What's the title of the program?
Title is Tampa Bay Community Safety Academy.
Oh. Very informative. Thank you so much. Any other announcements today? Well, no other announcements. Guys, thank you so much. This is, I think, a very informative, helpful meeting. And next meeting, I'll just ask Lori. I know that's an in-person meeting, and that's going to be at UT, right? Lori, can I ask you to clarify for next meeting?
Yes, it'll be at the UT Campus Safety Training Room. We'll send a map of the location, parking instructions, and that will be in person on October 1st.
Well, thanks, everybody. I guess we will conclude. Appreciate your time. And until we see you again in October. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you. Have a good
I hope
day.
that
You
was
did great.
okay.
Thank-
It was my first time flying solo.
yeah, you did awesome.
But you
Thank
helped a
so
lot.
much.
I forgot which parts different people take, but thank you.
No, you're a natural. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll see you in October. Bye now.
All right, bye.